Some of the things that he was exploring with her, I'm like, new kink unlocked. Okay?
Don't
we,
look.
we
Don't
gonna have
give
to get
me.
into it because some of the things he was doing, I was like, wait a minute.
What? Now, how does that feel?
Let me read that again so that I can actually take notes this time. Welcome back to Thoughts in the Glass podcast. I'm LaToya.
And I'm Kendra.
And this is a weekly podcast where we just share our thoughts, our
How about I get the podcast ready?
our opinions on all the things.
So yes, grab a drink, grab a snack, and join us on our real, raw, and funny commentary that we give you every week.
Period.
Well, we try.
Every week we do a drink of the night. And Kendra, what's the drink tonight?
Tonight's drink is a Boozey Arnold Palmer.
Mm-hmm.
Super easy to make. 2 ounces of bourbon or whatever spirit you would like. Half lemonade and half sweet tea.
Period. It's good.
I love an Arnold Palmer, y'all.
Me too.
Y'all know they selling at McDonald's now too.
We should do a peach Arnold Palmer because I'm still hung up on that peach Crown Royal. That was so good. That was so good. So how was your wait. What are you watching? Or how was your week?
The week was good. We went down south.
Mm-hmm.
I was in the woods being a supportive significant other.
Okay.
For the first of maybe an annual family reunion. We had a good time. We got an Airbnb. It was nice. It was back up in the woods. When I first saw it, I was like, Jayla, you got your mace? Because I'm just nervous. But no, it was a nice time. We went down to, they have this peach farm that I had looked up prior to going because D has asked me to make, he wanted me to make him a peach pound cake.
Oh, nice.
Because I usually make him just like a regular pound cake, but he wanted a peach pound cake. So I'll give you guys a recipe. I always but add a little bit of, speaking of peach Crown Royal, add a little peach Crown Royal to give it a little
razzle dazzle.
Razzle dazzle on my the icing.
On the icing, okay.
Yeah, so you kind of cook down the alcohol in the midst of cooking down the sugar and stuff, but so that my kids can at least have a little sampling. But so that was good. We just had a really good time. His family is fun and crazy. I had to talk him off the ledge of buying 50 million fireworks.
Okay.
He needed a limit. I'm gonna spend $2,000 on what? To burn some shit up?
Right.
Sit down. Boys in there, men in their gadgets and the things that just excite them.
It's funny.
The funniest thing.
It's hilarious. Yeah.
So other than that, so it was a short week. We left Thursday morning. Left the 18-year-old at home because she thinks she's grown.
Okay.
And got back on Sunday. So I hope you guys had a good 4th. What about you?
We did. We just went to my aunt. She put some food on the grill. Kind of like the same thing we always do. And then
because y'all had a big shindig the week prior.
Yeah. And then down here in Waldorf, they always do fireworks at the fairgrounds at the Blue Crab Stadium. And so what we ended up doing was we just ride out to, there's like a spot on I think that's called Middletown Road where you can kind of park your car and see the fireworks. And we just park right there and watch it from there. And so
just kind of hook up right there. That's cool.
Yeah. Really ain't do too much.
One of the things I want us to do, I have been researching it. I really want to do it for my bonus sister's birthday, which is actually tomorrow. She's born 7-Eleven. Oh, make sure tomorrow, y'all, go to 7-Eleven, get your free slurp. Please. Yeah. But so she doesn't really have anything planned, but I want to, they have 2 different ones. Go Boat DC and CDC.
Okay.
And these are the electronic boats that you drive yourself.
Okay.
The Go Boat DC holds up to 8 people.
Okay.
The CDC holds up to 10 people.
Nice.
I like the CDC only a little bit better because it comes with a Bluetooth. It comes with a cooler.
Okay.
And it already has the canopy.
Is this the one where you got to paddle it?
No.
Okay.
It's an electronic
boat.
And then you bring your food, and it's on the Potomac.
Nice.
So you can go up through the Potomac. It's at the wharf is where you go on there. So I was researching. I said something to my mother. She said, well, who's riding the boat? I said, why don't you look at what I sent you first? Mm-hmm. Because it's not like a boat where the captain is way further away from everybody else. It's literally a small little boat where the person that's driving it is facing everybody else, and the front is further up.
Okay.
So you're still in the mix.
Yeah.
I'm like, you before you ask me a question, look at it, girl.
Yeah.
Look at the video. God damn.
She be assuming. She be
like, if I say, oh, the sun is out. Oh, well, now, are you sure it's like fully out? Look first. God dog it. But I think I was talking to Kim, because she brought up how she really like enjoyed when we did our live, and we talked about
doing the 1-day trip. Yeah.
And so she was like, I just really would like that.
Yeah, she told me that too.
And so I was like, I'm telling you, it's a good time. It sounds like a good time. But I think that would be fun. If a couple of us kind of got together, maybe got some crabs or some, platters or whatever, and just maybe did 2 hours. I think for like 2 hours, like 3 something.
Okay.
And just kind of hung out.
Yeah.
For like breakfast or brunch or something. But anyway.
That's cute.
So that's one of the ideas that I had throughout the week when I was talking to her before we departed for our vacation.
My little cousin's birthday is tomorrow too, so shout out to them. Is this cancer season?
Yes.
Yeah, shout out to the cancers.
Big cancer, big crab season.
Yeah.
Crab season in the summertime.
It really
and
is.
I'm gonna drink to
y'all. Yeah, so that was basically it. But I did get to watch a little bit of TV, and I got into some books. So this week I've been watching The Boys.
I am not watching that show. I watched both. I watched season 1 and 2, and I cannot do season 3.
It's very graphic.
It's too graphic, good. And I think that white man kills me. He kills me every time.
Why
I don't like him because he do too much. He do. As much as I can watch some I don't like people that do too. As a Leo, yeah, I don't like people that do too much. And you would think,
but that's his character. They want you to hate him.
God, I don't just hate him. I loathed him to the point I cannot watch the show.
He's a character.
I don't care. The way that he has written him makes me uncomfortably upset.
Well, that means it's some good writing then.
I don't like him. And it's not even what he's saying. It's just like, you doing too much.
Yeah, how they portray him.
It's doing too much.
I love how in The Boys, they're kind of like a mirror of what we have going on right now in society, but just from like a fictional kind of purview. But it's basically the same thing that's actually literally going on right now.
Doing too much. It's all doing too much.
It's so good though. I love it. This new season, I honestly like the writing. What I'm afraid of is that they'll do like a lot of other shows, and once we get into the 4th and the 5th seasons, they'll start with the gimmicky storylines. So far, the storylines have been really good. So far, everything has been, really intriguing and keeping you into it. I'm just afraid of the gimmicks. I'm afraid of, now we got to go back in time and stuff. Like, even though it's already on a supernatural level. Yeah. I just feel like when you start bringing out all the tricks and this person died and they done came back, and when you start doing all of that, you're out of ideas, and let's just end it.
Let's be done with
it. Let's just be done with it.
There's no more money to be made out of it.
But knowing, like you call them Holly Weird, they love to milk things until they milk them dry. And I really hope for The Boys, I hope they don't end it like that. Even if it means Like, and so
ending it prematurely so you can end it on a high note.
Right. Mm-hmm. And so they're already transitioning in some new characters, and I appreciate that. Mm-hmm. And my thought is, even if you have to transition in new characters to keep the storylines fresh and to keep it cohesive, I would rather that than you
doing whatever to keep the same people on.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So we'll see how it goes. If you guys watch The Boys, drop in the comments. We could talk about it some more. I don't want to give any spoilers for people that haven't watched it, but it is very graphic. It is very gruesome. It's very sexual in nature.
Don't need it. That'd be my biggest pet peeve.
It's a lot going on, but it's so good to me. I also started watching House of Dragons. Y'all don't kill me. I've only seen one episode.
Because you were too busy watching The Boys.
Yeah, but and also like I be doing you know me. I be busy. I be booked and busy.
She said, "What's on my calendar? I ain't got nothing. Let me find something."
Exactly. Exactly. I've been in the candle workshop working on that. So I really have been busy. Haven't had a whole lot of time to watch TV, but I have been watching The Boys. Speaking of the candles, it's cancer season, so go ahead and get your cancer
Zodiac candle.
If you're not into the Zodiac candles, there's other
just
kinds.
Get the candle because it smells good. God dog.
Yeah. But I've also been reading, so I finished Natasha Bishop's Only for the Week. Okay. So good.
It was good. Okay.
So good.
That's on my ride down. On my ride to no, not my ride. My
Your vacation, your cruise. What do you got coming up?
The cruise.
Yeah.
Well, no. You know when I'm gonna read it?
What, on your flight?
No.
When?
My birthday.
Oh, okay.
Cause I'm
because you're gonna be at the spa. If you like Ethic, one of these episodes, maybe during a live, we'll talk about book boyfriends.
Because Ethic is my.
They be making these men in these books. They be making them really like
very appealing.
Okay.
And in my mind, he is a snack.
If you like Ethic, Rome from Only for the Week.
Where are they?
Where are they?
Searching for you with a flashlight.
That man, I when I was reading the book, so it's a romance. It's a I'm not gonna call it an erotic romance because they have a few sex scenes. They have quite a few sex scenes, but not a lot. I'll say it's smut. It's a little smutty.
Okay,
but it's not. Me too. But it's not like
overly.
Yeah, it's not overly done. It's very tastefully done.
It's not a 50 Shades.
Exactly.
Okay.
But some of the things that he was exploring with her, I'm like, new kink unlocked. Okay.
We're
gonna have to get into it because some of the things he was doing, I was like, wait a minute.
What? Now, how does that feel?
Let me read that again so that I can actually take notes this time.
Those are the best.
Yes, this one, Only for the Week, was really good. And people have been talking about this book. It's been on my TBR for a while. But y'all know I do audiobooks, and it just recently was released in the audio version. So I was waiting for that so I could listen to it. But it was worth the hype to me. You do have to, and I'm not going to
Now, wait. Is it a man or a woman reading it?
They flip back and forth.
Oh.
So there's a woman's that reads the woman's chapters and a man that reads the man chapters. Okay. And I do like the narrators. They're pretty good.
Okay.
Unpopular opinion, I don't like Wesley Sabion's voice. I know people love her in the narration world. She's the one that narrates a lot of Kennedy Ryan books. Okay. So I don't know if she did Real, but she definitely did Before I Let Go and This Could Be Us.
Okay.
Her and Jacoby Diem.
Okay.
People love them as a duo. I like Jacoby. I don't care for Wesley. She has a subtle New York accent that I can hear, and I don't like it.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll give you an example. You know how sometimes people over enunciate like February? She does that.
Oh.
And I don't like that. And it's very subtle, but it just bothers me that like your R's are too hard. So anyway,
New Yorkers have them hard R.
That's just my little pet peeve about her.
Yeah.
So all of that to say that the Natasha Bishop book, Only for the Weak, I can't think off the top of my head who narrates the audio book, but whoever it is, they have good voices, and it's not gonna make you cringe.
Okay.
They do cross over though. Like when the female is narrating, when she's saying what the guy said, she does talk for him, and he does the same thing. But it's not too much of that. It's not too much of
that man,
because they have their own.
Oh, just chills.
They have their own chapter, so it's not too much of that. It's not too much of that. It was not. It wasn't hard to listen to at all, but it was really, really good. The only thing I would say is I feel like most people, especially if you're following us, like our friends and stuff like that, maybe wouldn't be able to relate to one part of the synopsis, which is that the female main character was in a relationship with a guy for a year. In that relationship, they were kind of unhappy and just making it, just holding on to it, even though they knew they weren't really happy. They end up breaking up, and that her ex is now marrying her sister. And for me, I feel like that's probably the only part of the book that I had to disassociate with, because I can't imagine. I cannot imagine a world where I've dated somebody for a year and now he's marrying my sister.
Well, I can't imagine it, but child, when you be on the Ticket to Talk,
I guess it happens. So for some people, they might be able to relate, and obviously that's why books like this exist, because it does happen. But that was just the one part of the plot that just really, I was having a hard time connecting with that, because I'm just like, it's no way me and my sister would be cool. Like so many things would have happened to where I wouldn't even be at her wedding. But I'm not gonna give too much. Read the book. It's a really good book. I highly recommend.
It's this movie on Hallmark. I watched.
Yeah.
This is why I can relate. I watched a movie on Hallmark called The Winter Bride or something like that, and so it was the scenario of she was engaged to her fiance. They broke up, and then her cousin married her fiance, ex-fiance. Mm-hmm.
And I'm not even a big like girl code kind of person, but I just
trash.
If I dated him for a year,
yeah. What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Would that be the real life? That's why you got that be the real life though. That's how grimy people be.
Anyway, so that's a good one if y'all want something to read that. And then I read Mrs. Wiggins by Mary Monroe. So this is another one that was on my TBR for a long time. I'm in this Facebook group called Black Girls Read Too. And it was a really popular book in the Facebook group. Like people have been doing reviews on it. And I kept saying, I'm going to read it. And I said, I'm going to wait. But then I looked, and I believe this one is free on Audible. So when I seen it was free on Audible, I said, well, let me just get into it then. Since they going to cost me a credit. But it was really good. It was really good. Now this one, I know we're in July, but this one was about
here you go, the special guest.
I know, right? This one was about what do you call it? There's a name for this. Y'all don't kill me. My LGBTQ community, but when you're in a marriage and one of the partners is like gay or lesbian, but you're in a heterosexual marriage.
The beard?
Not a beard. It's called a something marriage. Like a, what do they call it?
I don't know. It sounds like a convenience marriage.
That's what we would call it, but they have a name for it in the community. I can't think of what it is. Y'all drop down in the comments and tell me what it is. But whatever the case, that's what it is. So it was set back in the 50s, I believe, like Jim Crow era. And so the young male main character and the young female main character, they come together because he is gay and he knows he's gay, but he also realizes that that's not accepted, that he could die for that. Like, it's back in a time where they would,
yeah, they ain't going for that.
Yeah, they're not going for that. And she has been molested as a child
and doesn't want to deal with no
and
man.
don't want to deal with no man, right? And so they decide they're gonna get married, and you know they will kind of protect each other. And he's like, you know, as long as you're with me.
Mixed orientation marriage?
No, it's another.
Okay.
It's something else. They call it like a
Anyway, continue. I think this was a show though.
Maybe they did make a show, but it's been a book.
They made a show out of that.
They call it like a peacock marriage or something like that.
Okay, well, go on.
Anyway, y'all tell us what it is. But yeah, so they get married and they decide to protect each other. You know, the agreement is that she's like, you know, nobody will ever know about you. You know, I'll basically be your beard. And she allows him to have his little, he has out of town boyfriends and stuff that he goes to see periodically. And, you know, he is her protector. Like, you know, you don't got to worry about men messing with you or anything like that, because now you're attached to me, right? And so basically the story is about their life and their journey, and it takes some twists and turns, and it gets a little dark. So there's some murder, there's some there's some conspiracies. Oh, but it's good. Don't be out. It's good.
Murder, kill.
Yeah, trigger warning. There is a child death. So
then I'm definitely not.
But it's not like a baby.
I'm not.
Okay. But it's good though. Just don't finish it, like, because that happens at the end. It's good.
Okay, maybe.
It's good. It's not that bad. It's really not that bad. It's like the child, the person is in their early 20s when it happens.
Oh, and that's not a child.
It's not a child. Well, okay. It's a child of one of the characters, though.
But it's not a child, though.
Okay. Young adult.
Yes.
Okay. I didn't think it was that bad. If it's
a child, any children, I'd be thinking about justice.
Yeah.
But if it's a young adult.
Okay. Yeah. So that one was pretty good, and she basically does a series. Mary Monroe, she does a series, a spinoff of that story. So you meet all these characters in the town through this one story, and then she does spinoff stories from all the other characters in the town. So I've only read the first one, which was Mrs. Wiggins, and it was really good. So I would recommend that. So that's what I've been reading.
Got you.
Our book club book, I think I told you guys, was Anonymous Acts. I actually I'm not gonna make it to book club next week, so but I did read the book and it was pretty good. That one was also very spicy. And it was just okay. Wesley Savion is one of the narrators, so it was nice. I had to push through because I don't like her voice, so I had to push through. But it was a good storyline. It was like a murder mystery. It was like a spicy murder mystery. Okay. So those were my reads for the week. If y'all want to get into it some more, we can always get into it some more. I never know. Y'all don't be giving me any feedback, so I never really know how much y'all want to talk about like books and shows. Yeah. And how much I should not reveal, because I don't want to ruin it for somebody if they want to read it or watch it. Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. So, question.
Yes.
Do you have disqualified bodies or bodies? A body or bodies?
Right. Like, so.
Sexual partners.
Basically, on my body count.
Is there anybody that'd be like,
who am I disqualified? I'm not even counting them. Mm-hmm. I do, actually. I do. Okay. I do. I would say 2.
Okay.
But you know, I mean, this is kind of telling my business. I haven't really had a lot of experiences. Mm-hmm. But it's definitely 2 that I would be like, well, okay, 3. No, 3. Okay. Let me explain the scenario. Hear me out. Let me explain it. And I feel comfortable explaining this because this person, we're not really like cool like that. They probably not watching the podcast. I
don't give a damn.
And nobody really knows the story, so nobody would know. I mean, other than like people that I've told in the past. But like when I was in high school,
tell me your business.
I had a friend that was a little older than me and wanted to lose his virginity. Right?
Okay.
He basically just didn't want to be, you know how it is when you're young and it's like, you're a virgin. For girls, it's cool, but for guys, it's like, you trash. So he wanted to lose his virginity. He didn't want to be a virgin anymore. And so, and we was cool, you know what I'm saying? And so I was like, okay, you know what I'm saying? It's fine. We can, you know, do it. So
it's catch up. Don't worry.
So my mindset at the time was, I wasn't a virgin. I was in between relationships.
Okay.
And so for me, it was just like an opportunity to have another experience.
Okay.
Like
it was practice.
Yeah, it was practice. Like I don't have a boyfriend right now, so I don't have anybody that I'm sleeping with.
Yeah.
And it's not like I'm losing my virginity to you. I've already lost it. Right. So I'm like, okay, and you're cool, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, you know,
we don't want to see each other kind of a solid.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't feel uncomfortable.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so that's
don't feel like I'm being taken advantage of.
And that's why I felt comfortable to say, okay, yeah, we can do this.
Right.
So we, you know, we set our place up, our time, where we gonna do everything, we get the condoms, all of that. Like, it was very
planned out and methodical
and practical. Yes. So we get to the situation. Now, mind y'all, I've always been thick, so like, imagine like the same, but like maybe 80-90 pounds lighter.
Right.
So we get into the scenario, and
not the scenario.
Well,
the overnight scenario.
Yeah, we get to the scenario, and I'm trying to give him some instruction. I'm like, okay, this is what you need to do, whatever. And he gets excited. And he's thinking that he's doing something.
And ain't nothing happening.
And without getting too graphic, he's just like in between my thighs. And not like entering. But the thighs are thick. So I could understand
the confusion.
And remember,
he does have on protection.
And he has on a condom. And this is his first time. And he doing a couple pumps, and next thing you know, my man gone. And I didn't have the heart to tell him.
Why not?
You
had this man out here looking crazy.
Secondhand embarrassment. Like, I really didn't have the heart to tell him, like,
that wasn't it.
You didn't.
Well, that's not even a body for you,
right? But I feel like because we kind of was.
That's not a body. There was no entrance of the body.
I guess not, but I feel like because we was like, trying to get there, that
he
like
didn't even lose his virginity.
He thought he did.
He sure
and
did.
I let him think it.
Okay, well you know what? Did you ever see the movie Easy A? Or what is it? With I can't think of the name of the lady, but in the movie, basically people were paying her to say
yes,
because the guy was homosexual.
Yes.
And they kept talking about him, so she faked it.
Yes.
And then that's basically so.
Yeah, no, this guy wasn't homosexual. He was just inexperienced.
Well, yeah, so there are other guys that were inexperienced that just wanted to say that they did it.
And the sad part about it is he actually had potential. Like, I was kind of excited because I was like, okay, I see what you're working with.
But why you ain't just tell him, like, friend?
I was I didn't even know how, like, and then like, remember, I'm not a virgin, so I know how this is supposed to work.
Yeah.
So after that happened, I was just like, it's okay. It's fine. Like, I think the next time you do it, like, you kind of understand the gist of it now. I didn't know how to tell him, like,
baby, unfortunately, she wasn't your first. Please don't claim her as that any longer in your life. Look, 30 years later, it's done.
He good now. He good. He good. He figured it out.
Clearly,
he figured it out,
as they all do.
But that would be one. And then the other ones just wasn't.
They wasn't hitting on nothing.
They wasn't hitting on nothing, and I was like, I'm not even about to claim you, cause
let me tell you something.
I could have had a V8.
I don't claim anybody that can't claim they got kids with me.
Damn. So they gotta put a baby in you.
Hey, listen, because it ain't happening. Ain't a damn. You ain't never listen.
Megan said it didn't happen.
It did not happen.
It wasn't slapping.
Listen, it ain't happened, baby.
You don't got no proof.
You ain't got no proof.
Where
we
the
together
proof?
for years. Ooh, where your proof? The pictures don't mean a damn thing. I got pictures with a whole other people.
If you ain't leave no DNA,
I don't know your name, baby. If my kids ain't never been like, well, where's my daddy? I don't know who you're talking about.
That's crazy. Somebody said on a podcast, I can't remember which one I was watching, but they were like, oh, y'all females don't be telling the truth about, all the people that y'all slept with. And this is why. Because some of y'all don't even qualify.
Let me tell you something. My body sheds its uterus every month.
It starts
and
over.
It's all over.
It starts over.
And this is every time it's fresh. It's fresh and it's new. I ain't got nothing to do with you. Okay? No, baby. Mm-mm.
So yeah, I feel like it's okay to take to minus a couple people off the list. Yeah.
Minus some.
Yeah.
Take them out.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
And for the guys too. Listen,
if it was trash and you didn't even finish, all you did was you just had a hand job and something.
Yeah.
It wasn't that.
It was just a highly intense makeout session.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I would say.
Yeah. Because baby, no. But if I ain't saying this your baby, I don't know that I don't know.
That's hilarious.
There's no proof of it.
So
part of me feel like now that my child 18, he don't count either.
Wait, is it a statute of limitation?
She grown.
Well, if it's a 20-year statute of limitations, I feel like I could tick some other people off the list. Like a credit report. It falls off after 20 years.
After 7. We stay into after 7 years, baby, it just falls right on off. And if that's the case, baby, I'm Gucci.
Me too.
You hear me? I'm basically like I only had 2 people in my life. You down to one?
Yeah.
That's it. And somebody asked me, one person.
Right.
That stuff gone.
What Melanie said? She said she ain't date nobody before her husband.
Listen.
It don't count.
It don't count.
Child.
My report is clear. My credit report is clear. I don't have no outstanding balances.
Period.
Okay, everything is gone.
All right, staying on the topic of sex. So this was another question from the live. We ended up seeing, I know I told y'all this last week, but we ended up seeing a bunch of your questions after the fact. So we've been sprinkling them in. So one of the questions from the live was, how do you tell your partner you're not sexually satisfied? And if they can't satisfy you, how do you handle that while staying in the relationship? So you can't just be like, oh, you're not satisfying me, we're going to break up. This is somebody that you love, you want to stay with. This could be your husband. He not hitting the spot. What do you do?
I think you're going to have to figure out how you can please yourself.
I agree.
Because and now this is after figuring out all the things. Like, have you gone to the sex therapist? Have you done this? Have you done that? If you've done all the things and it's just not spotting on, you have to figure out what you need. And so if you just can get him to get you to a point, and if that means using Other toys.
Not you recommending toys.
I don't mind. I never had a problem with toys.
You
I don't want my
you
partner
didn't let him to use it on you.
That's two different things.
Oh, okay.
Stay with me.
Okay.
Stay focused.
Okay.
And baby, I'm going in my own room. But that means you've had the conversation and knowing, like, okay, I still want to be sexually active with my spouse. I still want to do all of the things. I still want to get down and dirty. But I know at the end of the day, I'm going to have to finish somewhere else.
You couldn't introduce it with the person, though?
No, I feel like for me...
It's a private thing.
It's a private... Like,
if you're using toys, it's between you and the toy.
That's like, I don't need my...
That's your own personal
That's my own... That's like if somebody's saying, I'm going to go cheat. You're not bringing your spouse in there to cheat.
Right, okay.
And I'm not cheating.
Right.
But this is my own... Like, I need to get my fix. And however many times I need to get my fix. Because if a lot of times...
So, do they know you're doing it and they just leaving you alone? Or you sneaking out and doing it?
I've told... Now, there are two scenarios. Mm-hmm. And this is if you've told your partner, but I want to be in this. I do enjoy the intimate time that we have together, but I'm just not fully finishing. Once you have... Because it's a mountain to climb over. To have to tell this... Number one, tell this person and letting that person finish... And then you not, because you're still in a heightened space where you are now having an attitude because you're not released. And they sitting there like, wow. And you sitting there like.
They in the afterglow.
And you ain't even moisturized. And you ashy and you out here glowing. Please. So, no. But, so this is after the conversation and you go and you take care of your business. Or you know that, okay, I know that I'm doing this and I am enjoying, like he's getting me to the point of climaxing. Then if that means, hey, I'm going to hop in the shower and you already have everything lined up, prepared, finish it out. Or that person leaves to go get in the shower, go in your drawer, get your stuff, go and finish out.
But I could imagine a dude, like, after you having that conversation and a dude being like, well, let me just get the rose so I can help you finish.
But the thing is, most people, and well, maybe I'm talking on myself, but most people don't use it just once.
I mean, so what?
But then that got to be a pride. But
if the person, if your significant other is committed to your pleasure, then they're like, okay, well, we'll do it as long as you want to do it. But you saying, I don't even want you to do it.
No, don't
leave me alone.
Let me knock these out real quick and I'll be happy. And I say that. But
like not having been in that situation, yeah.
I feel like if I was in that situation, maybe I would be more up to like I'll say this. I probably wouldn't want any like man parts, like dildos, stuff like that. But I would prefer like if we had to use something, it's a external stimulant that you're also doing at the same time.
Okay.
So even if like you can't cause me to climax if you're sitting in you're the person. So I have all of you and we're using one of those little things that has the bullet on top of it. So you're in the bullets right. That's something a little different, right? But I don't want a toy.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
So you're still within the act of the relationship part of it.
You're still sharing the experience.
I don't want it to be so individual.
Yeah. Or like they have like those sleeves that, so like say the issue is like size, right?
Yeah.
They have those sleeves that they could put on so they can that like give them a little extra size.
And then they can feel it, you can feel it. Everything is still happening at the same time. Yeah. It just needs to still be happening at the same time.
But would it be, I mean I know it would be, but like how would you even address, because I know it would be hard, how would you even address the conversation of, can you wear a sleeve?
So I would say, I don't know. Because this is the thing. As much, yes, it will hurt your feelings. But as much as men know their size.
Yeah.
Men know when they not.
Yeah.
Rocking out.
Yeah.
So if you, but this is what I'll say too.
I think in that situation, I would have to like it. Okay, so if I really loved and cared for the person, honestly, I would follow myself. Like I would put myself in a not so desirable position to spare his feelings. Like I would be like, it's not you. I just gotta like my shit just stretched out.
I'm not doing that.
You're not doing that?
I'm not
I would because in my mind I'm like, I know that it's not true, and I'm just saying this to stroke your ego.
But I also don't want you to be in a group chat talking about my girlfriend.
Oh, I don't care about that.
I listen, because you're not gonna play with my name.
I don't care about that because my thing is, like, the truth will come to the light.
The light will come to the truth.
And if you are now dogging me and going around and being like, oh, she this and oh, she that, when I fuck your homeboy and he found out that that's not true,
I don't want to have to go down that road.
But don't play me,
right?
You know what I mean? Like you shouldn't have been talking shit in the group chat,
right? Now you the group. They talk about you in the group chat. Now you not in the group chat.
If you would have just kept your mouth shut and took the ego stroke, we'd have been good. We'd have been good. But if you want to go and do that, trust it, because dudes, they gonna want to know, like, oh, they said she this, she that, whatever. When that information gets back to me,
that friend gonna be like,
oh, okay, bet.
Because dudes are not loyal.
Which one of y'all
is not loyal?
Do I feel like it's gonna be the test subject to go back and tell
it gonna be the one that's gonna run this?
Cause I'm So go back and tell your friend what happened.
Girl, it seems like she ain't got no problem. Nigga, is it you? Well, but I mean that's only in a scenario where like y'all locked in. Like I really care about you. I don't want to hurt your feelings, and I want us to get to a solution that works for us. I would be willing to be like, it's me. But I'm gonna just be honest with you. Most guys that aren't big will sell you. They're like, well, I don't got a lot going on.
That's true.
But they will try to overcompensate
in other areas.
And if you be like, well, no, I want that to be connection. Let's figure out a way to make it work. I
feel like too, like, I know this is super cliche, but like, you know how they say it's not the size of the boat, but the motion in the ocean.
That's a damn lie.
I don't think so.
Let me tell you something. It's a lie.
Well, I guess I can't
lie.
really fully speak on it, but I'm just saying I've only dealt with one person that didn't have decent size, and he knew what to do.
It's a lie, and because this is the thing, you don't have to be enormous either.
Right.
You don't have to be porn star. Like, it ain't that much room down there anyway.
Right.
But maybe, and it's knowing what to do, but it also is like the intention, the dealings with that person. Yeah. Right? Because if it's somebody that you like, he's like superficially like, it's not going to be good.
This guy was a person that I had a crush on for a long time. And then when it finally got to, okay, you actually get to like do something with your crush, I was disappointed when I saw like, dang, we not working with a whole lot. But he, like, even though I know the look of disappointment was on my face, he was already like, nah, you gonna go in this position, this leg gonna go here, this gonna do that. And he got the job done. I was like, oh, you know what you're doing.
But it's still...
Because, like you said, he knows that he knew that he wasn't really packing like that. Right. So he already knew what angle, what position that was going to make it pleasurable for both of us. Right.
But I'm sure that he has had to go through some ego...
maybe he has. Maybe he has.
Like, figure that out.
But I'm saying that, but it's still, he was able to make the situation pleasurable for us without having the size. So I feel like it's true. It's more so about if you know what you're doing, not if you. Because then I've had some big ones who
that's lazy.
We're literally just throwing a bowling ball down the like it's. That's all you trying to do.
Yeah, because like,
you ain't trying to hit no spots. You ain't looking for no angles.
Because they think that that's enough.
Yeah.
Sometimes the smaller not the smaller, but you have to be more creative. It makes it a little bit more fun.
Yeah.
So maybe it's the I don't know. Be up in it. Do what you do right.
I think it's mainly just the ego thing that gets in the way when people say they're not sexually satisfied. Because in my personal opinion, I don't feel that it's any reason why you shouldn't be. I feel like your individual pleasure is your own responsibility. So if you're not speaking up and saying
that you're not happy or things like that,
hey, can you move to the left? Can you move to the right? That doesn't feel good. Let's do this. If you're not speaking up and saying those things and then you walk away from the session unsatisfied, that's your fault.
Yeah, but it just depends on the comfortability of the situation too. Because if it's somebody that you like in between boyfriends, somebody you just rocking with for a hot second, especially at this big age, sir, what are you doing?
My mom used to say, she used to kind of say this little thing of like, if you scared to speak up and talk about it, you shouldn't be doing it. Now, granted, that was to me as a young adult being sexually active, but I that still applies to me now in my mind. Like, if you scared to tell them what to do, then you shouldn't be doing it.
It's not, and that's the other thing. I'm not scared to tell you what to do. I'm just not. I'm not that invested.
But you don't want to get something out of it for yourself.
I'm not that invested.
Ooh.
I'm not that invested because it sometimes I'm just gonna be honest with you. Sometimes, especially in my not now, of course, but not in my youth, it will be like
just get it over with.
Let's just be done with this because I'm not invested in you. So me taking the time to tell you to do this and do that, I know where I can go to get what I need to get done without trying to make this seem like it's more than what it is because it's not.
Yeah.
Finish your thing. I was hoping it would be better. It would be like me going to a restaurant because the regular place that I go to isn't open. I'm trying this new restaurant and they're not good. I'm not going to go and tell the chef,
you should do this.
I'm just not invested in coming back to this restaurant.
Right.
Everybody deserves a little sample.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, it's like I sampled it. You need too much. It would be too much for me to try to teach you how to get it right. I'm just gonna move on.
Yeah. Because I mean, it'd be one thing if I needed to add a little salt and pepper.
Yeah.
Now we have it like, oh, it's because this needs to be changed or that. Fine, but if I have to tell you the whole recipe, baby, I'm not that invested in trying to teach you how to cook.
Yeah.
Find you a new chef for that.
Right.
Let me go to another restaurant.
Right.
Clearly, I'm a little too advanced.
Or find somebody that like this food you offering because it ain't me.
It ain't me. It's a little bland. I need a little spice in my life. So I'm gonna go, and you have at it.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at with it.
I guess so. I guess it's. You got to speak up to answer the question.
Yes.
You got to speak up.
You have to say something. You have to.
I guess there has to be trust there. Mm-hmm. And people got to put their egos to the side.
And then also, if you are the type that the relationship you're comfortable adding a porn or something like that, just to be like, oh, let's try this, or games.
Yeah.
That what's the book?
The Kama Sutra.
Let's try this. Let's do this. Figure out what can work for these situations. Because they may not be, just because you're older. This is another thing. So I'll be on both sides. Just because you're older doesn't mean that you've had enough experiences.
Absolutely.
Where you are have been told or needed to be told what to do. Because everybody is different, and everybody's sexual appetite and the things that they've done, and people have and your other partners have maybe exposed you to things that other partners have not. So this would be a good time to also figure out what you like, because what you used to like when you were 18, 19, 20, baby, I've done gained some weight and now I'm 35, 40, 50. and I want to get this done.
Yeah.
What do you like? Because I got the rice is on and the kids is eating their snacks. We ain't got that much time. We don't have time to be playing. Let's get to it. And we both better get it, because if we don't, when I come back out this room, I ain't going to be the same person. They're going to be like, now what happened when you went inside? Don't go inside no more. Because you was cool when you was out here. Now you come back and you snatching the snacks. The mashed potatoes ain't fully mashed. What's the problem? Don't play with mommy and daddy. Daddy don't play with her no more, because you don't know how to play the game.
Right.
Now we all suffering because your ass ain't finished. Get on the phone with an attitude. What's wrong with you?
Right. Well, hopefully that helped you. The person that asked the question. Yeah. Hopefully that helped you. Do you want to do the random?
Let's do like a little random. So, would you rather have a 1-minute conversation with your past self or your future self?
Ooh, that's tough. I would say my future self.
Okay, why?
Because even though there's some things in my past that I kind of wish were better, I don't think I could change anything. You know what I mean? And knowing the mindset that I was in,
you ain't listening.
I probably wouldn't be listening. But I think that my future self could maybe give me some guidance on how to operate now. Yeah. You know, like, especially if I'm talking to my future self and they're telling me, you know, about some things that didn't go so well, kind of based on how I'm doing things now, or even like some things that, hey, stick with this turns out really great for you in the next 10, 15 years. Then it could give me like the boost to be like, I was going to let this go, but I had this conversation and now I'm going to stick with it. Yeah. So I think my future self. Yeah.
So I'll say this. I would also agree with my future self, because you couldn't tell me a damn thing when I was younger. Yeah. Especially nobody coming back to, what you talking about? Who are you? Terminator?
And but also to consider like your life now. Is it anything like you thought it would be then? Because if I went back, I don't even know if the younger version of me would even believe it. Like, first of all, that's not what I wanted to be doing. So this is a lie. Like, I don't know if my younger self would even be able to receive me, the person that I am now, because it's so different from what I thought it would be.
I think that me being would be like, no, sounds about right. That's what I did.
Damn.
I'm trying to pull it together. But I think I would want the future me, but I would want them to say, like, the minute conversation, I wouldn't really necessarily want them to tell me what does work, because I don't think that, knowing me, I wouldn't fully invest in the joy of the ride. I would want them to say that what you choose, like, if it's something that's detrimental to me, you better tell me. Yeah. But if it's like, nah, just you on the right path.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that kind of motivation of like,
but don't tell me
you're on the right path, you're doing a good job, like this.
But don't be everything. Like, don't be specific though.
Yeah, like, or if they just were to say like, hey, I already know where your mindset is at, and I know what you're planning. Everything that you're thinking about doing
works.
It's gonna work out. Like, don't worry. Yeah, like, to give you because you know, when you're in the planning stage of things, sometimes you could be like, do I really want to do this? Yeah. So for that future person to come back and be like, don't second guess yourself. It's gonna work out.
But then the only thing is, I'd be like, in my mind, I have 50 million things. So then I'm be like,
which one I ain't supposed to say? But you said don't be
specific. I told you I'd be on both sides of everything when it comes down to it. Don't be specific, because I want to enjoy the ins and outs of it, to be able to appreciate it the way that my future self appreciates it. But then the other part of me is like, I have a lot of balls in the air. Which ball are you talking about? And which ball
would you just want to know, like, what's going on with you right now? Like, because ultimately, without being prompted, you'll probably make the same decisions.
Yeah.
So is it would you just want like a glimpse of how does it look? You know what I mean? Like, am I in the middle of the zombie apocalypse, or am I good? You know, like, how does it look?
I know, but then the other part of me, as I say that surface levelly, like I just want to make sure that everything's good. The other part of me is like, I got questions though. Mm-hmm. How are the kids?
Right.
Did we get married?
Right.
Did I buy another house? Like, now I need to know. Yeah. Like, I need to know, did I do these things? Mm-hmm. And if I did I have, does anything in my life need to change for me to get to those things? And if the answer is no, then I think that I could still
enjoy the ride.
But if it's like, you should have done this, or if you continue on this same path and do this and do this and do this and do, like, I don't want the full.
So thing. What if they just show you, like, what if the 1 minute conversation is just, hey, we got the house, I'm married now, the kids are good, whatever, but no details on how you got there. Like, I can't tell you how we did it, but this is where we are.
I think that would be enough for me.
Because at least you would have, like, that guarantee of, I don't know how I got there, but I got there. So I got a little hope now of, like.
But you know what? But then my problem would be, like, if I have an option of two, I'm always going to be like, which one did I choose? Because what if I choose wrong?
No, but there's no way you could choose wrong.
You just don't know. Because we say that, but then you always have the, I don't know, because things that you would automatically do,
yeah,
you will
still do.
Guess.
Oh no, I don't think so. Because I think because you innately you are who you are, right? Yeah. So this isn't decisions that you would normally make. You would probably still make, even knowing.
Oh, maybe a little bit more confidently. Like, okay, if
because I think the vision would probably put you in or the conversation would probably put you in a place of, I know that it's going to work out, so now I'm not really as indecisive as I used to be because I already have the confirmation that it's going to work out.
But then my question is, if you are a person that's more indecisive and it all of a sudden become less indecisive, what if that changes the narrative of what happens in the future?
True. I mean, we could get into it, but I feel like stuff like this creates a time loop.
That's what I'm saying.
And not to get to, you know, not to nerd out, but like if you encountered your future self and they gave you information, that was always supposed to happen. It's not, I don't believe that there would be two separate timelines, one where you didn't encounter your future self and one where you did. If you encounter your future self, that was always going to happen. So whatever your future self tells you is happening, it's based on that encounter. So then it doesn't matter. To me, I would feel like it doesn't matter what I do because this was going to happen. And so if you're telling me that we made it to this point, we were going to make it to this point either way.
But then it would be like, if we went back, so that means our future self says, don't do this. That would change what we did later on.
What do you mean?
So the scenario is, if we could have a 1 minute conversation with our future selves at this point, or be the future selves that has a 1 minute conversation with our past selves. Yeah. What those things would change.
Correct. So even if we did it the opposite way, and the reason why I say I wouldn't want to do it that way is because nothing would change. Because I believe that it would have already happened. So like, even if I make the decision now of like, oh, I'm going to talk to my past self, that's not a new decision for me because that would have already happened.
No. So listen, so if you now went back to when you were, let's say it was a pivotal point.
let's say I was, how old am I now? So let's say I was 17. That would be 20 years ago. Okay.
And whatever the pivotal point in your life, and if it was something that now you're like, if I didn't do that, then my life would be in a different direction. Right? If you said, I know for a fact, if you, some of the things that you still do, but don't meet with this person.
Right.
Or when you meet this person, just
keep walking by.
That will change everything.
Which is why I'm saying it wouldn't work, because I'm already in the future of that person. So unless I'm changing,
it will change the timeline.
Right, but
think about what I'm saying. If at 17, if you basically you're it's a choice of making this decision.
I don't think that you can change your timeline. So this is what I'm saying. I don't think you can.
So you don't believe that there's multiple timelines?
I do, but I don't think that you can change the timeline that you're currently on.
So you don't think timeline split?
Not.
What about the Mandela effect that we in right now?
So I do believe in interdimensionality, but I feel like then there's another version of me that's living a different timeline parallel to mine. But this current timeline that I'm in, I feel like even if I went back to my 17-year-old self and gave that person information, because I'm currently in this timeline and it doesn't end here, that person is not going to do anything different because this timeline is not different.
But what? So you don't believe that you could create new timelines and other ones end?
No.
Okay.
Because if I did, so let's say I go back and tell that person something, then basically where I'm at currently in my life would mean that everything that person did was based on information that I gave them, so I would still be in this same spot.
So this is now I'm nerding out.
Because that happened in the past. So
this is what I'm asking. So remember on Back to the Future, right, where she started to fall in love with her son, and he was like, he had to do something drastic because like the thing was, do not, because it will mess up the same timeline, right?
Yes.
So if we went to talk to our future selves, I think. Did you watch 13? I mean, 13 again with what's that child name?
I know who you're talking about.
She married to Ben Affleck, or was married to Ben Affleck?
Oh, I was talking about the young guy.
No, but I'm talking about Afron.
Yeah, Afron.
No, it's whatever, Jennifer whatever, that was married to Ben Affleck.
Okay.
She was 13. Something happened when she turned 30. Her mind went back to when she was 13. So she was doing all these terrible things all the way up until she was 30. So when she woke up and realized, like, she had the mindset of her 13-year-old, she still was friends with one of her like old friends, stuff like that. She realized throughout the year she had been doing like terrible stuff. Right. So then she fell in love with this boy that really, really liked her, but she treated him terribly. So later on, she always had a crush on him back from when she was 13, but didn't like him after that because, trying to be in the in crowd, this, that, and the forth. Her friend was a jackass, this, that. She then wakes up on her 13th birthday and remembers all of the stuff from what happened, like all from when, what she found out in that week. Dropped a friend. It was like, come on, Maddie, and runs out the door. And in that now new timeline, they've gotten married.
I get that, but I don't believe in that.
Okay.
So to me, that would be basically she got to see another timeline because that timeline where she treated people terribly still happened. She was just able to see it. And so now she can make it. So I feel like that's where, like, like dreams or premonitions, things like that. Like when you see something and you able to, like even like psychics sometimes, if they tell you like, hey, this, that, whatever things that may happen, I think that they are looking into other dimensions or other timelines of your life that you're not on, and they're telling you this, you could line up and be doing the same things as this other timeline unless you make a different choice. The moment that you make a different choice, now you're not lined up anymore. But that person still exists, and that person is still making those choices.
Right, but what happens if you become a new
person? I don't think you split. I think that there are just...
That's not what they said in Avengers.
I think that there are just multiple timelines that are parallel on top of each other, and they're going in... They can sometimes be the same to a certain point, but then they can go in different directions. But that person is still that person going in that direction, and you're still you going in your direction.
Now this is just a little far fetched.
I said I didn't want to nerd out.
I feel like it could be like branches.
Okay, but okay. So let's think about that concept, right? If that's true, if we ourselves can split timelines, that means that other people can also. So if you split based on a decision that you make, now you're in a different timeline with the same version of me or a different version of me.
I wonder.
You see what I'm saying?
But it could be.
So that's why I'm saying I don't feel that we split timelines. I feel like there are multiple timelines, and every decision we make is either the same. So if it's 20 Kendras, every decision you make, the 20 Kendras either make the same decision and then go to the next phase in the same way, or one of those 20 Kendras make a different decision.
Right, but...
And so now that one is going this way while the other 19 are going this way. And then there's another time where one of the 20 makes a different decision. But so 2 is going that way and the other 18 are going this way.
I don't know. This is too convoluted.
And we could be wrong, but that's just my belief. That's just what I think.
Let me tell you something. The Mandela effect has made it very clear that I'm the same person.
So one thing I kind of always think, and this is way off topic, y'all may not even get this because we passed our hour, but one thing that I think about is the things that I decide to do in this life now, for example, like I chose not to have any kids, right? So sometimes I feel like it was for me not to have any kids because there's a version of me that had kids, and she's wishing that she could have traveled and done all the things, but she didn't get to because she chose to have the kids. Or, there's a version of me that chose not to get married. And she's kind of like, I chose not to get married and I'm living that single life, but I kind of wish I would have. And I'm living that part of every choice that I make, there's a version of me that made the opposite choice. And I'm living out what it looks like if they made a different choice. So I that's just how I kind of think about it. Like, there's a version of me that went to college and maybe it wasn't as good as she thought it would be. And so my path was to live out, what does this life look like if I don't finish?
Or vice versa.
Well, that's her path.
Right, and you may be wishing that you did finish.
Right, but it's not for me. So my life is to show what it looks like if you don't. Her life is to show what it looks like if you do. And she's living that path.
What if you are the person that didn't do the right path? It's too much.
I could be, but it doesn't matter because this is my timeline. Like, I'm the main character, so it doesn't matter.
I think that the timelines, if this is the case, I feel like if you're going straight and you make a different decision, I think that the timeline can stay what the timeline is. It's you that moves.
I understand what you're saying, but then my question would be, what about all the other people?
What I'm saying is it doesn't change. Like the timeline is what it is, right? But it's basically like, to me, if we all on the same road, everybody's still on that same road. If I take a alternate route to do other things and get back on that same road, everybody else is still on that same road.
But what if the people on that road are also taking alternate routes?
Then you either meet or you don't in other spaces. So if we're all on the same road and I'm taking the exit to go home and then getting back on later on, I may that next morning see that same car on that same road doing that same thing because that's the ultimate routine. But let's say, for example, if I went back into my old past and they said, well, all I'm gonna say is if you don't meet this person, everything else will still, like, my timeline will still be the same. It just won't include
that part.
It just won't include this part. So what I've now done is circumvented and went around this, but got back on that same timeline.
So then when you come back to yourself, so you're going back in the past to have a conversation, or even the past person is coming to you to have the conversation. When you come back to how your life is now, do you even remember that event that they circumvented? Because you deleted something out of your past.
You would have, right. So you would have deleted it, and then we don't know what that then happens when you go back to yourself and now you don't remember it.
And so that's what to me, that doesn't make sense. It don't make sense to me. I feel like you can't change anything. You can't change anything. And anything that you experience moving forward, even if it is like a supernatural event, you were supposed to experience that.
I don't want to do that.
But that's just what I think. But it also, too, you see it in, like, movies and TV shows, even though, like, obviously we can't base it off of that. But, like, I watched this TV show called The Time Traveler's Wife because Theo Jones is in it, and I have a crush on him.
I love it. That was a good movie.
So remember in that where, like,
it was at a point where he was not going to...
No, where, like, things were happening to him and his... Like, he would wake up and be like, why am I here? Things were happening. And then when he got to the future and he started going back and doing... That stuff had already happened. So remember what did he do? He kept trying to save his mom, but he couldn't save her. And he kept showing up at different places. He was leaving little notes for himself. So in his original timeline, at a teenager, he would get to a point and see something that his future self left for him. And then when he gets to the future, he makes the decision to go back and leave something for his teenage self. But that already you were going to do that anyway, because when you were 17, you saw that note that your future self decided to leave for you. So you're thinking that you're making that decision as a 30-year-old, but it happened because you experienced it at 17. So what I'm saying is nothing new is happening. It all was supposed to happen because you experience, if you go back, you experience yourself going back. So even in the future, when you make the decision to go back, it already happened.
Well, so now I'm confused because this is the thing. So the one, okay, so this is the other. Don't do that. When she was pregnant.
Yeah.
And she kept losing the baby.
Yeah.
Because the baby was doing whatever.
Time jumping.
Right. Doing whatever they was doing. And then what happened? So this baby did not.
The last time it didn't.
But now we're talking too deep into it.
Okay, so remember when at the end she was a little girl and he was an old man and he went and talked to her. So basically, this was at the end of his life. He goes back to the beginning of her life to talk to her. She probably would have not fell in love with him if they had never had that interaction. But for him, it was at the end of their relationship. But for her, it was at the beginning, like it was the thing that made her attracted to him in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
So the point I'm making is, it already like.
But then my question is, did it only happen because he intervened for it to happen?
No, because it was already a part of, that was always going to happen.
But this is the thing. So if you had to,
so if he were to have gotten older and never went back to her as a child, he wouldn't have been with her, because that was the only reason why she liked him, because she was like, oh, you're the guy that I met when I was a child.
So listen to what I'm saying. The reason that, so if he never had gone to talk to her, she would have chosen a different.
But no, the reason why he went in to talk to her, because she was already his wife. This is what I'm saying. It's a circle. He wouldn't have never made that decision to go back and talk with her if they wasn't married. But they would have never been married if he wouldn't have went back and talked to her. It's a circle.
I ain't with it.
Okay.
I ain't with it.
We do it too much.
It's too
we
much.
do it too much.
It's too many moving parts. We're moving around. I like the loops and the ins and the outs. You like the stackity stack. I like the exits and jump back on. I don't know. Y'all tell us what y'all think about it in the comments.
I don't know. If y'all want to nerd out with us, then tell us what y'all think in the comments. But I don't know. This might be a little bit too in the weeds. This might be in the archives.
Drinking the bourbon.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway, on that note,
listen, make sure you
like, subscribe, hit the notification button,
drop into the comments,
all the things.
And with that, we
drink to that.
She crazy.